I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel.
But not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the results, one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Back to throw. Gore to Pierce. They set up the screen. Breaks the tackle. Now an alley. And he'll take this to the other side of the middle of the field to Jefferson. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has. If he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
The numbers on the ground for Pierce last week. 14 carries, 60 yards.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might not. The kick by Lutz is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Time for Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense to go to work. Prescott, of course, the former 4th-round pick in 2016 out of Mississippi State. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The rushing numbers for Pollard last week, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The Cowboys at 13-2 on the year. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. But Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason, so now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite right. Get them healthy, get ready for the playoffs, make your move then.
Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
Yeah, they only allowed 13 points, and you can poll all 32 coaches, and I guarantee you they'd say, we'll take that every single week. But let me think about that for a second. Maybe there'd be one contrarian that would say, give me 10.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll throw again. Prescott. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. From the red zone now, Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities. And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to run that they got. On first, they'll go back to Wilson. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep. Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop it. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Is in. Touchdown, Dallas. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line. Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do? Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Goal. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people. Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. A tall task ahead of them here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. 4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. Taking it about the 36. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they've got it set up on the silver platter. 1st and goal inside the 10. Wilson with a 1st down carry. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. They'll run again with Wilson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting third from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. And now out comes Houston. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. Gore. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Ball start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Gore hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. In their locker room, they've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us. Looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in it.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. Houston set to take over. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
Let's go now.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Gore. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A run for Pierce out of the gun. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On second down, Gainwell looking for space. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The Texans on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. And CD, that's the second time this half they put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game, so you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Houston. Van Jefferson, 37 yards. And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Lutz good on the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was all capped off by the Van Jefferson touchdown reception. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. There he goes left side. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Gore. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Now they got to get to the line quickly. The throw over the middle taken in. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Now that's the kind of
under a minute to play in half number 1. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that'll be dumped off to Gainwell. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Back to throw again. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. A first down throw for Prescott. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. To the air again, Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken at about the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
Ready?
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime. All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And you can see by the X next to their name, they have clinched the NFC East already. For the moment, though, they would host a wild card game in round 1.
And for me, the to win this division. Not just in recent years, but think about the decades that have stacked up where we've said the NFC East, always one of the toughest divisions in the NFL.
Second down, this is Wilson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up the first down, keep the sticks moving.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now they'll hand it off to Wilson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Prescott with a throw caught by Lamb. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Dances by at the 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
They're a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On third down, here's Wilson. And it looks like he's going to be stopped short of the first down by about a yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on fourth. Here's first and 10. One of the Jets sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
After the loss, they'll come up second and 13. Operating from the gun, Gore. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So from Cowboy territory now, here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line. Back to throw. Gore. Flushed. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Chauncey Golston. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
On second down, here's Pierce. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Though certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Out comes CeeDee Lamb and the rest of the Dallas offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing. Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. Finding room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Back now in Houston. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. In motion, the tight end. A give. This is Wilson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will have a Cowboys 1st down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows 1st down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 51 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. Now a give, running left is Wilson. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Prescott. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Cowboys are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And now out comes Houston. Deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Gore. He'll find Smith-Schuster again. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 50 yards. And the Texans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. He would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out with this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Another carry for Wilson. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And this one quickly to Lamb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 79 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've took.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Has a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
The kick by Bass is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Buying time to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down. Gore. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
So a roughing the passer penalty there, CD.
And we know that these pass rushers love to get after rookie quarterbacks, but they've still got to do it within the scope of the rules. And that time, the hit came just a little bit too late. And the official wouldn't think twice about pulling this flag on that one.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's caught. It's Kenneth Gainwell. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Throwing on first down. Gore. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Gore hit. He lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Operating from the gun. Gore. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. So this one will end in a victory for the